When Gary and I met, we had children right away. We never really had the chance to get to know each other, to be a couple. When the house was empty of our girls, we sat at the dining table and looked at each other and said, now what? What are we going to do?
We don't know how to be a couple again.
We didn't know how to be a couple again.
It became awkward at one point. Then we tried to still make it operational for both of us because we don't know how to be romantic anymore. We don't go out on dates. We don't. When I finally submitted and said yes to Hope Restored, that really opened up a lot. It was really more out of desperation.
So when he finally said yes, and I said, yes. And we made that application. And so it just happened. And in December, we went.
I was nervous, anxious at the start, but when we felt so welcome, it started to settle down. Then our facilitators were great.
Were amazing. And I was so scared for him, because I said to myself, I pray that he'll be open, that he opens his heart, because I know how much pride he has. The second day was so scary that one of our facilitators came up to me and said, are you okay? And I said, I don't think this will work. Second day.
I was expecting more, that it will be fixed immediately, so just to get it out of the way. So after the second day that I felt that it was not being resolved, so I said no. Yeah, just like what Joy said, no, it won't work.
Watching Gary squirm in his seat, being asked questions that were so probing and so personal, I was scared that he's not going to open his heart. I remember when we were registering for the program, one of the questions that was asked was, do you believe in miracles? And I answered yes, and I said, I'm looking forward to my miracle. So we just pushed ahead. I trusted the process and the facilitators. And on the third day, we had a eureka moment.
They made me realize that I was hiding in my cave because I was afraid. And the more that we were fighting, arguing, the more I went deep and deeper to my cave, to the point that I became imprisoned in that cave.
Going into the cave deeper and deeper did not show vulnerability at all. Instead, he showed arrogance and pride, and even the lack of asking forgiveness, and that really turned me off. And I said, why is there so much hardness of heart in you when we're both church people and we love God and we serve God, right? But in our own relationship, we're trying to put barriers because of pride. And for me, it's because of anger. When I'm angry, I just lose myself.
I was shown how to get out of that cave, how to express that, and it was really more of expressing how I feel, what I feel, and setting that boundary, in the caring for myself, rather than continue to hide and be afraid and not communicate. So that's the big aha moment for me.
I think the one thing we learned in Hope Restored is how to feel safe with one another. Because for so many years, we didn't feel safe at all. He hid things from me, I hid things from him. We didn't tell each other the truth at all times. We also realized that we were already expressing how we felt and what we need from each other. But the most important thing to me is that Gary learned to listen. And we're just so grateful. Grateful to Hope Restored because we got to understand our psyche, how our relationships work. And I think the best part really is that through our facilitators and through the program, we were able to meet that. And in the end, the Lord was just there to polish everything, you know?
The key here is be vulnerable and open yourself up to God's will. That really brought me to where I am.
The spiritual context that I have for this whole experience of Hope Restored is that it's like the passion, death, and resurrection of Christ, you know? Like when we were married, we went through a lot of passion, suffering, sacrifices, and the death to us was dying to ourselves and saying yes to Hope Restored, knowing that we will be vulnerable there amongst people that we don't know, but the resurrection happened after, you know? And it's just a great experience that I hope and I pray every married couple who's going through something should experience.